Beedle-de-doop.
Dun it, dun it,
Beedle-de-doop.
dun it, dun it, dun it.
Beedle-de-doop.
Welcome, everybody, to the Quick Snap. Brock Purdy season is officially taking over Geno season. The Niners just absolutely destroyed the Seahawks. Even though it was only 21-13, it really was not. It wasn't. It wasn't indicative of like the actual like final score.
This was one of those games that was over at the first half despite the score. Like
Yeah.
it was just very clear when they went into halftime which team was better.
Yep. And he's Mr. Irrelevant, but you gotta admit, Brock Purdy looking pretty good.
Stop! Don't. You get one.
Okay.
He, like I said, like I mentioned this on the podcast last time, but at the moment that I saw that dude take the field, he's just looked poised. He's just looked like he knows exactly what he's doing and he's ready to go.
He does, for a rookie, he does look very comfortable, like really, really comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say that it does help that the Niners added like the best possible piece to their puzzle that they needed with Christian McCaffrey. He went off on just a total tear on the ground, 26 for 108 and a touchdown. He also caught 6 for 30. And I mean, he's just solid. And Kittle, of course, having 2 touchdowns as well. Again, coming from a rookie quarterback, Brock Purdy's looking incredible, and it's really it's almost unheard of seeing what he's doing with, especially like given the whole Mr. Irrelevant tag, which doesn't mean a whole lot, obviously, but it still warrants, like, it's not like he was like picked in the 5th round or 6th round like Tom. This is like he was the last pick, and he's winning NFL games in convincing fashions against some of the best in the league.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more fun it'd be a lot less fun for the media if he was picked like 3 picks before he was. But even still, he would be like an unprecedented level of success for someone picked that late. Is basically being an undrafted player and then coming in and filling what are, to be fair, some pretty nice shoes. But he's doing it quite well.
Yeah, and I mean, it's on what I will say on the flip side of things is that you look at Seattle, who, I wish that Robert was here to talk about Geno season. I mean, you kind of carried that flag too.
I'm all on board with Geno season, dude. I still believe it's Geno season. He's got a lot of issues, unfortunately, with that O-line, as you mentioned, though. Oof. And of course, San Francisco's defense is suffocating.
Yeah,
but
they're number 1 for a reason, for sure. And they've, they caused 2 fumbles, and they did get a turnover off of that. It was off of a Travis Homer fumble that the Niners caused. Geno also had a fumble, but he didn't lose it. But I mean, Seattle looked exposed tonight. And honestly, like I hate to bring up like, hey, let's talk about my team like Krendor always does, but like there are some parallels here to the Seahawks with the Bucs in that they can look good if their running game is working. And tonight, Kenneth Walker III, who is still kind of leading, I would say, for offensive rookie of the year awards, he looked bad. But again, they are going up against the number 1 defense, so there is a little bit of a give there. But I mean, Seattle did not look good. And again, those of you, if you didn't watch the game, the final touchdown was with 3.5 minutes left, so just ignore it because it didn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, this was a shellacking without the score to back it up. This 49ers team just had their way with him.
Yep. Geno Smith sacked 3 times for 31 yards. Brock Purdy only sacked once for 6 yards. He had a QB rating of 117. I mean, that's great. I mean, the only negative rushes that he had was the kneel down at the end of the game. So like, I mean, he's not a rushing quarterback. Like Brock Purdy is not a rushing quarterback at all. But he, as you were saying, Bear, he looks very poised, very comfortable in the pocket, way more comfortable than you would ever expect a rookie quarterback, let alone Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, it's really phenomenal what he's doing, and the Niners it's like I said a couple weeks ago, they're peaking at the right time, man.
So this seriously complicates Seattle's path to the playoffs.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
They have got a difficult schedule coming up. They're at Kansas City on Christmas Eve. They're playing in Seattle, but against the Jets on New Year's Day. and then their last game is against the Rams. So, probably 1 for 2 there. And I don't know if 8-9 is good enough to get in the wild card in the NFC anymore, man.
Unless if you're in the NFC South and the top of the division. Yeah. Seattle's looking it's getting bumpy for them. And I'm going to pull up because I actually don't know the Seahawks schedule. The remainder of this year, they play.
I just said it.
Oh, did you?
I literally just went.
I thought you were talking about the record. I didn't.
No, I'm saying who they were playing coming up next.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I was also sending out a Discord ping because the bot wasn't working. So, but yeah, the Chiefs, Jets, Rams. I mean, do you see them taking any of those games? Maybe against the Rams.
The last one, probably the last one. But I mean, they might not have anything to play for at that point. It might have already been decided by them.
Yeah. I agree with that. So that's on the flex too. So. I mean, Alex still asking, is it still Geno season or nah, Bear?
I think so. He's just gotta he's gonna have to show up. It's Geno season until they're out of the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned. If this Seattle team makes it, in my opinion, they have as much of a shot as anybody else when it comes to the big dance.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because when it's all said and done, all bets are off for the Super Bowl because it's
any team can get hot, and that's all it takes.
But right now, I mean, the Niners are doing what they did last year. They're doing what the Bengals did last year, and just getting hot at the right moment. And I mean, they are looking like there's in the NFC. I don't see anyone else coming close to that defense. And honestly, as far as complete teams now, you got to start wondering: are they the best? Are they the best in the conference? I mean, Philadelphia is very, very, very good. Let's put it that way. They're very good, super solid team. The Cowboys, you know them. The Cowboys, they're also looking pretty sharp. But I gotta say, both of those teams, if it's in pick'ems going up against Niners, I'm picking the Niners right now.
I think it's an extremely safe bet to guess on a 49ers Eagles NFC Championship game right now. And to your point, Christian McCaffrey, I feel like is being optimized in this offense, which is so great to see. And he is just fucking unleashed right now.
He is scary.
And then I think Purdy might even kind of be an upgrade, if you can fucking believe it, to Jimmy G. He's out there making shit happen.
I am willing to say that that's not even a hot take, because if Purdy, it really does. There's something about the way that he's carrying himself, calling the plays, calling audibles, and staying in the pocket, that he looks like he knows he's not going to get touched. I mean, that line for the offensive line for the Niners is not the best, but it's also not the worst. It's good enough, and he's getting it done. And honestly, I would take Purdy over Jimmy G right now. And it's really tough to say against Trey Lance because Trey Lance is injured, but now you've got kind of this controversy coming up next year. No matter what happens, assuming he stays healthy, do they stick with Lance or do they go with Brock Purdy? I mean, I want to see where that goes. Niners fans, let us know in the comments down below, who would you want to have, Jimmy G or Brock Purdy leading your team into the playoffs. And for those of you who are just tuning in live here on the Quick Snap, it's myself and Bear. Make sure you click the like button and start leaving comments. Again, comments and likes, they all go towards what's called engagement here on YouTube. It's a very excellent way to help grow the channel, grow the podcast, and thank you very much. And also check out our Patreon link down below where you get a chance to be the assistant coach of the week, which Bear always does every single week since we enacted it. I guess we're going into week 4 of the assistant coaches. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. I mean, it's awesome. It's been great to see the channel grow and great to see the podcast grow. Looking ahead towards the rest of the Niners schedule, the Niners don't have it easy. Two of them are pretty much gimmies. It really just kind of depends on which Commander team shows up for the third one, because they're going up.
Honestly, which Raiders team shows up too, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
all 3 of the teams they have coming up are near trap games. They could go 0 for 3, with a realistic outcome.
I don't see them losing to the Cardinals. I don't.
Maybe, dude. This season is not normal.
It's another chaos season for sure. I'd say the safe bet, the 2 out of the 3, The question marks for me are definitely the Raiders, and I would say Commanders. The Cardinals, to me, feel like the easy. I think that they can. I think that they will. They have a chance.
There's a decent chance. Well, no, I was going to say there's a decent chance they're not playing for seeding anymore, but I wonder if they'll really care about seeding between
Probably
2 and
not.
4. You know what I mean? Like, so are they done caring about their position now until the playoffs? Because they've already won the division.
I mean, really, like home field is only for the first seed.
For the first seed, yeah, and they're not going to get that.
And then it's kind of like who do you want to? It's almost like who do you want to play? But you still want to get the victories, obviously, especially against the Cardinals for the divisional record. But you know, I think that they to a certain degree they probably do care about the seeding, but it's not like you're going to get an easier if you're playing from 3 to 4.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really just depends on who is seeded and what. But with only 3 games left, I mean, the Niners are red hot. And like we said, talking about the Seahawks, you know, they're on a rough road, and you know, their strength of schedule is not favorable for them.
I really do think they can pull it off, man. Like, this 49ers team is tough. This is like, they're honestly, last week is more concerning for me than this game. For the Seahawks, looking like I'm still reeling from the fact that they lost to the fucking Panthers, led by Sam Darnold. But they've got a monumental fucking task coming up on Christmas Eve, going into Arrowhead. So if they can pull it off there, then Geno's season is looking strong still. But
this will be the test for your Geno season. You and Rob's flag is going to be really tested to see how they bounce back from a tough loss against a very tough team. And thank you everyone for clicking the like. Shout out to the live viewers, Matt, Dominic, Time, Fate, OG, Gaming Scott, Alex, Zemini, Hippo. Thank you all very much for hanging out with myself and Bear, and Totally Devastated as well. And yeah, like the video if you want a pizza roll. There you go. There may or may not be a real pizza roll. It might be a proverbial one, but we'll say it as well. So, but wrapping it up here, again, everyone check out the links down below if you're interested in supporting the podcast and have a chance to get an assistant coach. Well, I mean, there is an assistant coach role. You get that automatically. You just get a chance to have your picks featured on the pick'ems for the week that Bear does, and it's a lot of fun. And thank you, everyone, for those of you who support the podcast. We really do truly appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in to another Quick Snap. And thanks to my buddy Bear for being here.
Ooh.
And we will see you all next time. Again, thank you all very much. Check out the comments for the question of the night. And, yeah, we'll see you probably on Monday night.